So I posted my second YouTube video to a brand new channel and it hit 346,000 views. It was absolutely mental. And in this video, I'm going to show you exactly how I made that video blow up using a strategy that is specifically designed for smaller channels that haven't got much traction yet. And by the end of this video, you'll know exactly how to apply this strategy to your own videos as well. So the video we're going to talk about is on a different YouTube channel to the one you're watching right now. And let's start off by taking a look at the analytics. Now, I'm purposefully blurring out the amount of money that this video has made because we're going to talk about that a little bit later in the video. Now, you'll notice that this video slowly but surely got more and more views as the months went on. It never really popped off, or there was never really a big explosion in views. So you're not going to see a big spike in the analytics. It was just kind of this slow burn, and it just got more and more views as time went on. Now, this is very interesting because I think a lot of new YouTubers think that if their video doesn't pop off in the first 24 hours after they post it, then it was a flop or it was a waste of time to make it in the first place. But the reality is that for new channels, if a video does well, most of the time it's probably going to look like this. It's probably just going to be a slow burn over time. And to prove it to you, I'll show you another example. So this is a YouTube video that I posted on a third channel quite a few years ago. I've been doing this for quite a while. And this was actually the third video that I posted on this channel. And as you can see, again, we just got this slow burn over time, and over the course of 3 years, in this case, it slowly made its way up to about 600,000 views. So maybe you can take a little bit of inspiration from this, because you might have posted a video recently, or maybe you're about to post a video to your channel that performed very averagely when you first posted it, but you might check that video back in 6 months' time, or maybe in a year's time, and you might just see a very different story. Okay, so let's dive into the 3 very simple strategies for how I made this video gain hundreds of thousands of views, and how you can start applying these strategies today to your own videos as well. Okay, so for the first strategy, we're going to talk about something that is mentioned over and over again in videos like this, but I'm going to put my own unique twist on it that is specifically aimed at helping smaller channels. So we're going to talk about titles and thumbnails. And I actually want to introduce you to a very effective concept called the skyscraper technique. Now, I've tried many different ways to make money online, and one of the things that I tried back in the day was SEO. Now, if you don't know what SEO is, it stands for search engine optimization, and it's essentially where you try and get things to rank higher in Google search. Now, there is an idea in SEO called the skyscraper technique. And how it basically works is you find a keyword or a search term that is performing really well, and you take a look at the top link or the top web page for that search term, and you basically go away and you create something better. So basically, we find something that's already working and we improve on it. But this skyscraper technique also applies perfectly to YouTube. So basically, we find a title and thumbnail that is already performing really well within our niche, and we just improve on it. We think, how can we make this more eye-catching? How can we make this more visually interesting? Or just how can we make the video itself a little bit better or a little bit more engaging? So let me show you an example from the video I made then. So here is the title and thumbnail of the video that I gained inspiration from, or that I used the skyscraper technique on. And just for context, this is in the graphic design niche or poster design niche. And you can see that the original title and thumbnail is just the thumbnail is just a zoomed in version of the poster itself, and it's very eye-catching. We've got the big bold text and the interesting graphics. And here is my version of that thumbnail. So you can see the actual graphic design itself is kind of similar, like I've clearly taken inspiration from it. But I thought, how could I make my thumbnail a little bit more eye-catching? So number 1, I added in the Photoshop logo in the top left corner. And number 2, I added in a famous person. Basically, I added in Tyler, the creator, into the design. And at the end of the day, it worked, because I think that one of the main reasons that this video did well over time was because I took a proven idea, I took a title and thumbnail that was already working for someone else, and I just kind of built on it, and I added my own unique style, and I added other visual elements that weren't in the original. Okay, so how can you apply this to your videos then? How can we apply this to any niche on YouTube? So the way to do this is incredibly simple. What you can do is you can basically create a list of about 5 to 10 creators in your niche, or maybe in similar niches, that are doing very well and that have, high performing videos, lots of subscribers. And now you can see that in just a few minutes, we have a Google Doc of tons of different titles and thumbnails that are already proven to resonate with your target audience. Now, this is where the skyscraper technique comes in. You want to now take a look at these thumbnails and think, how can I improve on these ideas? And if you don't think you can improve on the ideas, you can think, how can I add my own unique twist or my own unique personality to these titles and thumbnails? And this is such an amazing way way to approach this problem, because it means that we don't have to kind of try to reinvent the wheel, because we can take proven high-performing titles and thumbnails and then just build on what's already working. Okay, so the second strategy is based on settings and small tricks that you can use right before you upload your video. And the first trick we're going to look at is a little bit sneaky, but I haven't seen this in almost any other YouTube video on this topic. I don't even know how I found out about this, but I do think it's really, really effective. So what we're going to do is we're going to go into the actual video page for the video that we are targeting with the skyscraper technique. Now, if you're not using the skyscraper technique, it doesn't really matter. Just choose a video that is like closely related to your video and is also performing really well. So now on the video page, we're going to right click anywhere and we're going to go to view page source. And that's going to bring up all this random code and all this crazy stuff, but we're going to press Control and F and we're going to search for keywords. And as you can see, just after the word keywords, we now have a list of all of the tags, of all of the keywords that were used for the original video. And this is interesting because the average viewer will never see this information. Like, you can't see the tags or the keywords of a video on the video page on YouTube. And this is absolute gold, because now we can see how they are positioning their video for the algorithm. So now we can use the majority of these keywords when we upload our own videos to make it much more likely that our videos will show in the sidebar of that video, or maybe get recommended to the same target audience. So that's a really interesting trick that you might not have come across before, but I've actually got one more that I want to show you. And it's basically that you want to make sure that the file name for the video that you upload to YouTube and also the image that you upload for the thumbnail are packed with keywords. So instead of calling the file that you upload to YouTube final version.mp4 or something like that, you want to rename it to a relatively long file name that has lots of different keywords for your specific niche. So for example, you can see that the file name for this video was Brutalism Poster Photoshop Tutorial Beginners 2024. And I probably could have gone even further with that, but you can see that there's a lot of different keywords to tell YouTube exactly what the video is about. Now, are these small tricks going to make your video blow up overnight? Probably not. But this is all about stacking these small advantages that, again, tell YouTube exactly what your video is about and also who to show it to. Okay, so the third and final strategy might actually be the most important one. And this is the thing that's going to make a massive difference if you are a small creator, and that is the hook. Now, again, I don't want to waste your time. I'm sure you've watched many different videos like this before where they talk about the importance of the hook, but I'm going to give you some very specific, actionable advice on how to create a compelling and effective hook. Okay, so when we talk about the hook, we're generally talking about the first 30, maybe 45 seconds of the video. And it's essentially your chance to capture people's attention and earn people's trust. And if you're not able to do that, it doesn't matter how good the rest of your video is, because nobody's going to watch it. And a very interesting way to view the hook of your video is to treat it like a movie trailer. Because if you think about it, what does a movie trailer actually do? It teases the full video or the full movie without giving everything away. It's very fast-paced with engaging visuals, but most importantly, it creates tension and curiosity. It introduces stories and ideas without telling you exactly how they end. And that is basically your job in the first 30 seconds of a YouTube video. And if you're relatively unknown or you're still quite a small creator, the hook actually matters even more, because most of the people discovering your videos have never come across you before. So you kind of need to impress them and grab their attention even faster. And for me, when I created that video that got 300,000 views, I would say probably 80% of my effort went into the first 30 to 45 seconds of the video. So let's break this down. How do we create a hook that entices and compels the viewer to keep watching? Well, there are a number of different ways to answer that question, but the one that I really focused on for this video was something that I call visual momentum. So it's very simple. Visual momentum is about keeping the viewer's eyes and brain constantly engaged throughout the hook. So we want to make sure that every few seconds something changes. Now, this doesn't have to be anything crazy. This can be some visuals that pop up on the screen or some text that appears as you're speaking, like this. But in that video, I actually took this one step further and I literally set up my camera in 3 different spots within the intro of the video. And the reason I did that was to create that visual momentum and keep things visually interesting. Because remember, people are going to decide in seconds if they want to stick around and watch the rest of the video. So you do need to make every second count. Okay, so finally, we're going to get into the juicy details and we're going to talk a little bit about money. So how much did I make from this video on a brand new channel? So this video with 346,000 views made a grand total of $726, which, to be honest, when compared to other videos and other niches, is actually pretty low, because what that means is for every 1,000 views on the video, I probably made about $2. Now there's a couple of different reasons for that. Number one, it's a very artsy, creative niche, so the ad revenue is always going to be lower, and it's also a pretty short video, so it's under 8 minutes, so I couldn't put any mid-roll ads into the middle of the video. But I can tell you that the amount of traffic and revenue that this video alone directed towards my paid products made me way more than this amount here. So for me, it's not too much of a big deal. And on that note, if you are curious about how I set up digital products and a one-person business around this YouTube channel and how I scaled that business to over 5 figures a month in profit, you can click on this video right here and I will walk you through the whole thing and show you how you can build one of these businesses completely from scratch. So yeah, click over to that video and I will see you there.